All right, so we're here with Breeders' Crown Champion. Now does that still? I know it's a couple years later, but that's still got to be a nice feather in your cap, right? To have.
Oh, absolutely. When somebody says it, yeah, but I don't think about it too often. But yes.
You don't think about it. See, if I won a Breeders' Crown, I would have taken the trophy because they're these nice big crystal trophies, right? I would have drilled a hole in it and had it around my neck like a Flavor Flav chain, and I thought for sure that's what we did. You would have been the one to do that, you know, just walk into the club with just this big crystal trophy wrapped around your neck. But I'm assuming you can't work like that, right? With this big dangly thing. Yeah, and people might get the wrong idea of me maybe if I would wear it to work or something. You're saying you're humble? Is that kind of?
Yeah, probably.
No, man, you got to showcase it a lot, you know.
Yeah, but you know, when Beckham was here every day, it was it made me think about it more often. I will say that.
Afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, because he ended up being a pretty nice 4-year-old open pacer, dabble, you know what I mean, went on the Grand Circuit and did some damage from what I remember, right?
Yeah, not too bad. He was competitive.
Yeah, and I mean, he was Indiana's like kind of horse, right? He was their open pacer for a while.
Yeah, and then this year, unfortunately, we just ran into a little bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody gets old. I mean, I'm getting old. My knees are bad. You know, it happens, right?
Yes, wear and tear.
So it's always good to reminisce. So let's do some reminiscing about the 2017 Breeders' Crown. Now,
awesome.
from what I remember, we had going to the elims. Okay, this was first time at Hoosier Park. First time everybody's here. What was your just kind of leading up to it? What do you remember everybody coming in? Were you annoyed? Because you were also the top dog, leading trainer. You and Jeff Cullifer were splitting. I think you won the training title that year, right? So were you welcoming to everybody? Or were you trying to kick down everybody, be like, get out of here?
Oh, no, absolutely welcoming. And when it went off without a hitch and everybody was so pleased with it here, it was gratifying just for Hoosier Park alone, even though I had nothing to do with it.
And now we're back.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
That's kind of nice too. And I think it should be, you know, I think Hoosier's in the rotation now. So
awesome.
It's kind of nice. So the 3-year-old Colt Pacers that year. And also too, we're in the barn. It's cold. Let's you know, this is more for just keeping warm. We had Fear the Dragon and Down by the Seaside.
Yeah. So
probably the two best Colt Pacers, like, you know, like that was generational. I mean, we got Tall Dark Stranger this year, but those two were like, one's bad enough. Now you got two, and they were same stable. You're like, what do we do?
Third best. We're going into the Breeders' Crown, you know, just hoping to be third.
Okay.
And then dreams come true, I guess.
Yeah. So
right?
in the elim, you got, now obviously they split up Down by the Seaside and Fear the Dragon. So was there a horse that you wanted to draw in more, or were you just saying, okay, let's make the final, let's be second, and you know, let's not rough them up too much and just get to the final?
Yeah, let's just get in the final. That was the goal with the eliminations.
And I mean, midway through, Fear the Dragon is kind of stalling on the outside. You're kind of behind him, sitting 8th. You know, only the top couple make the final. Was your heart palpitating a little bit more, like, can we just get the final? Here
Absolutely. You know, you get all these mixed emotions. You get anger, you get anxious, you get like, why are we sitting there? Why aren't we in position? And then
Fear the Dragon just stalls.
Yeah.
And you're zipping up the inside and just closing like a rocket.
And yeah, no matter where Beckham is, the last quarter was always his favorite quarter.
So that's where he's the strongest, and you kind of know that. And I'm sure he raced here a bunch of times, so he knows the track too. He knows the surface. I think a lot of horses, you know, it's when you come to a different track, you gotta kind of maybe shoeing the stretch, the way the gate is. You know, this gate's a little bit different.
And even the driver, like I knew that I had an advantage with Ricky, just because in that race he was the only driver that had been. Well, Trace was in there. But Ricky's been here since 1999.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there should be nobody in that race that knows the racetrack better than him.
Right.
So I knew I had that working for us, too.
So now we got into the final. We're going to watch the final here. You got the 5-hole. I would imagine, too, the draw was also, like, nervous. Like, just don't draw the 10.
Yes.
Just don't draw the 9, the 8. Just give me somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
You know Beckham is a closer. So just give me somewhere in the middle.
I can be in the race.
You draw the 5-hole. Down by the Seaside. just, I mean, again, you're like, okay, we beat one, now we got the other one. So you're right next to him, and we're going to be going behind the gate right now. And
Breeders' Crown Championship sponsored by the Diamond Creek Farms.
I know you want to win it. This is America. If you ain't first, you're last. But with such a dominating favorite like that, you almost have to feel like, damn, they race for a lot of money. Second is still pretty good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So here we are behind the gate. We got Beckham on the left, Down by the Seaside, 4 and 5.
This is a better view than the first time I watched it.
Yes, these are all my little GoPros that I stick everywhere I can.
They're off for the Breeders' Crown. And fast off the gate from the center of the pack, it's Down by the Seaside. Rockin' Tony to the inside, and from the front side, Me So Fast comes swooping in.
Okay, so I know that Beckham's last quarter is his best, but you're getting away 8th here, and it looks like a fast quarter. So do you ever worry about the first half of the race unless something is not according to plan? I'm assuming you were going to get away in the middle of the pack, but maybe you weren't hoping this far back.
Yeah, at this point, you just hope for second over, third over. You know what I mean? You just pray for a miracle.
Right.
Yeah, because you know you're in with better horses than your horse is what you're thinking in your head. You know what I mean?
And it's not like you were expecting to get away first and you're away 8th. You were kind of hoping to be away
just
in the middle. Just in the middle somewhere. So it's not like a panic mode right now. You're just kind of like, all right, he got away fine. We're good. Let's rock and roll.
And Me So Fast powers to the front. Taking the lead, Bloodline comes away 4th. Back of the inside, 5th is Boogie Shuffle. Then it's Ocean Colony, and Park to the outside, Max Jackpot. Next to the inside, Beckham Z-Tam, he's racing in 8th. Funkin' Waffles comes away 9th. Photobomber Hanover at the back. D6 and 2 for the opening quarter.
Okay, so right now we already know we're second over.
Yep, I'm fine.
So you're good now.
Yep, fine.
You're good now. Isn't it? And I'm sure when you've got the favorite, or when Ricky's driving, you want a nice easy thing to lead. Like Down by the Seaside, pretty got to the lead pretty easy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And there was no issues, no worries there. And you're like, can we just give him a little bit of a challenge? Just guys, don't give him the lead so easy, But you're second over here.
Yeah, make him work.
You're following a pretty good horse. So again, you can almost take a breath at this
I took a breath, and then I said, Beckham doesn't know that he's working as long as he's on a helmet.
Okay.
So no matter the fractions from here on, I knew I was okay.
So if you were first over, you maybe would have been a little bit
hesitant.
Okay, but we're second over, we're good.
Yeah, because he's a stud, so you got to kind of play that into play too with his mind.
And I'm sure how he's raced, like you said, over the years. In that year, maybe first over didn't work, second over is the best option, things like that. So.
Yeah, well, just not racing as a 2-year-old, we were able to, as a 3-year-old, just to teach him how to race. And it was always duck come
and
with
pull,
cover,
and blast.
So.
And here comes Down by the Seaside, Brian.
So now he's right on a helmet.
And Down by the Seaside, sprinting to the front, will take the lead. So now Me So Fast, Matthew Cayley has the pocket seat in behind the heavy favorite in second, with Rockin' Tony gapping slightly third. Bloodline trapped to the inside 4th. Max Jackpot has been out throughout. With that cover, Beckham Z-Tam in good striking position for Macomber. 56 seconds for that.
So now the other thing I've noticed a lot of times on a big track, you could be second over and then all of a sudden you're 4th over. Because horses are pulling out, the view, you can't really see what horses are actually too wide versus on the rail. So it's like, okay, I know we're second over, but just stay second over. Don't end up 4th over. And none of the horses on the inside pulled. Maybe because they were scared of Down by the Seaside. Maybe they just wanted to save ground.
Or they know that it's a quarter of a mile.
Right. Stretch.
Yeah,
that thing is long.
That helps.
I had to walk that the other night. I don't want to do that again. So now, again, we're heading in the final turn, second over. Now you're like, okay, when's Ricky gonna pull the right line, right? Like, wait, let's rock and roll, buddy.
No, at this point you're just praying for Aaron to get you to the head of the stretch.
Right.
Fast to the inside as Max Jackpot moves steadily to the outside, attacking third. Just off the cover 4th is Beckham Z-Tam. Rockin' Tony trapped to the inside is 5th. Bloodline buried to 6th to his outside. Photobomber Hanover, followed by Funkin' Waffles as they come to the 3/4 mile marker. 124.4. They're in the stretch, Down by the Seaside. To the.
All right, that's it. 3 wide. He's pulled the right line. Are you watching? Can you watch at this point?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you yelling at the TV?
Yeah, I'm hiding my eyes and looking.
Right,
and
you're looking
Yeah.
and hiding. And even just rewatching this, I mean, it's got to bring back some, some
emotion.
Yeah, some good memories.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna play through.
Okay.
Outside, Max Jackpot still there. A lingering second. Off his back comes Beckham Z-Tam. Beckham Z-Tam picking up speed. Down by the seaside to the inside. As they move midway through the stretch, Beckham Z-Tam has taken the lead. Beckham Z-Tam. Beckham Z-Tam. Down by the seaside. Beckham Z-Tam wins the Breeders' Crown in 151-1.
How about that?
He won again.
Yeah, he won again, right? Yeah. I mean that's you can almost have that as your ringtone, just that call, just on repeat, right?
Yeah.
Beckham Z-Tam wins the Breeders' Crown. I mean,
Yes.
those are one of those things that you just you're probably never gonna forget, right?
Yeah.
So going into
Forever.
the winner's circle. I mean, that night, the next day, the following Monday, because that was a Saturday night. When did it actually hit?
Oh, you're exhausted because you've got the horse sale that weekend. You've got, 40 horses in the barn.
Yeah.
You have the Breeders' Crown. You have your overnight horses. So then finally on Sunday when it hits you and you're laying in bed and you're like, we won the Breeders' Crown last night.
Did you just get everybody gets the week off? Just
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
That's it. That's just everybody gets the week off. But yeah, unfortunately, it's 40 horse barn and you got to get back to work on Monday, right?
So everything's right back to normal on Monday.
So it's nice to just come back and relive that every once in a while, because I see you got pictures in the office and always, that horse he won the super final, right? He was what did he win as a 3-year-old?
No, actually Rockin' Tony that was in with him, he beat him in the super final at the wire.
Okay,
so we were
but
second.
Second in the super final.
Yeah.
And
but he went up to Canada to Montreal and won the Prix d'Été.
Right, yeah.
So that was pretty fun.
So that horse, it's nice when you get a horse like that and he gives you a pretty good ride.
Yeah.
Because including the Breeders' Crown.
Yes.
So as far as for the 2020 Breeders' Crown, I mean it's with everything that's happened this year, have you noticed anything different as far as the setup leading up to the races, for the track, for the horsemen here? Has it been just something completely different than it was in 2017? It's almost like back to normal, right?
Yeah, 2017 was a little bit of a big deal because it was the first time. So, track management had a lot of decisions to make, where to put horses, and some trainers had to move, including ourselves, to make room for Breeders' Crown horses. This year they kind of are just blending in.
Yeah.
Things are running a lot more smooth.
Yeah.
They've been there, they've done that, so now everything's great, I think.
Are we going to see, I know you had one in the elims, and he was just a notch below probably where he needed to be.
Yeah, he raced super. It was a career fast mile for him.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining at all. I think, he had more trot on the end of it than a couple of the horses, but just in an impossible position to come a huge back half like that.
Yeah, it is.
And he has no gate speed, so that hurts him.
It's like a double whammy.
Yeah.
So are we hoping that some of because the cool thing about here is there's the sale week, there's a lot of events going on in between the elims and the finals. So I know you bought a bunch of yearlings. Are we looking forward to when those are going to be? Probably 2023.
I guess I have him to thank. I've got a barn full of trotters coming.
Okay, perfect.
So and with trotters, baby trotters, comes a lot of anxiety and nerves, and you need patience, and I'd like to think the older I get, the more patience I get.
Okay.
So hopefully it works out.
And last question. So do you think that being one of the top, are you going to win the trainer title this year or no? You're second, third?
Yeah, I'm second.
Second. You don't like being second, do you? You're either first or last,
no,
right?
it's still good.
It's still good? It's still good?
Yeah. I know what we started with in the barn this year. I know what we're finishing with.
Okay.
2020's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
So we started off really, really strong. Then we went through a really rough patch, a longer patch than we've ever gone through, Ricky and I. And but we've rebounded and picking things back up.
2021. I think everybody's just 2021.
Please.
I think that's what it is.
Please.
So and you got.
But also very grateful for how well we have done.
And you've got about 40 horses here, right? So that's the stable's healthy, everything's good.
So the 2-year-olds are getting turned out now that super finals are over.
Yep.
So it's shrinking every day.
And you did pretty well in the super finals, right?
Yeah.
So what was your record in there?
We won one.
1-1. Only one?
Yes. but we
You gotta
had
win 2. Like that's the thing. When you start winning Breeders' Crowns and Super Finals, you gotta go back and win more.
Yeah,
you know, that's,
I agree.
That's the. I would say if I was gonna critique you on one thing, it would be win 1, then win more.
Okay.
Right. So
All right.
that's my piece of advice for you.
Okay.
That one's free. That
I'll
one's
work
free.
on it.
The next one. So,
Thank you.
Jamie Macomber, Breeders' Crown champion. That you can't take that away from you. No
Thank
matter
you.
know. So. And again, doing it on your home track, that's
Yeah,
got to be pretty
that's
sweet.
fun.
There's not too
Absolutely.
many trainers that can say that, you know.